Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's been 2 weeks, so let's have a chat.
Going in! 3, 2, 1, go!
So, life has been only a tad bit dramatic, hence the reason why I haven't put any sort of video together for a couple weeks. You may remember, I've mentioned, I think, that my husband, our source of income, my husband owns a small business, and we've had such a time for the past almost year and a half with employees. So the past couple weeks have been pretty chaotic, and so in between managing house and trying to keep him from getting too stressed out, this has taken a little bit of a backseat. Still have been training, so here I'm going to show you what I did last week. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the group. Hello. It's Saturday of Labor Day weekend. Didn't really film much of anything this week. It's starting to become a pattern. But seriously, it's just because I didn't really do much of anything that was worth sharing. I did several treadmill runs this week, but this has been a pretty solid training week for me. There was only one day I didn't run, and that was yesterday because we were driving down to the lake house, and I spent most of the day not in the car getting the house ready for our guests. We're here with some guests, and it's been fun so far. But we were able, 2 of my 4 guests, we all went for a 7.5 mile long run today. Kept all of my mile paces under 11, which was nice. And the weather down here at our lake house has cooled down, so I was appreciative of a nice cool day. So I did the long run, and I had a fast finish run, and then a really easy sprint run. The workouts were easy this week, and I actually swapped. This 7.5 mile run was supposed to be next weekend, but I swapped it to this weekend, and I'm doing 6 next weekend because I'm hoping to do another donut run with the middle and high school cross country team if any of them want to come out and run with me. So I wanted to make it a little bit of a shorter distance. So I don't know what activities we are doing while we are here. If we do anything fun, anything interesting, I'll share it. But I will get to our Hello, My Name Is for this week a little bit later. I'll give you the title right now. The title is something to the effect of, Can I Have the Language of Origin? When I read the title, I was like, I have no idea what this chapter is going to be about. But I'll go ahead and share the first thing. Before my Osmo Pocket dies, he shares a story about how when he was in elementary school, he was in a spelling bee, and he was feeling confident. It was good. It was down to him and this one other person, and he looks over, and this one other person is this girl in a grade younger than him, and he's like, oh, I got this. But then he could just see this look in her face. She's determined, and she goes up, spells her word perfectly, it goes back and just kind of like gives him the eye, like, you just try to beat me. And it shook his confidence a little bit, and he got up there, and his word was impossible, and he spelled it with 1 letter wrong, and he couldn't believe it. And this other girl won, and then of course all of his friends were teasing him because the girl beat him, blah blah blah. And so he goes into, this is a chapter on being afraid. Gotta charge the Osmo Pocket, so between now and then I'll share some of the scenery here at our lovely lake house. So this week, we came back from the lake house on Monday, and so I didn't run that day. Pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think I did anything on Monday. See, that's how you can tell how anxiety affects me a little bit is my memory. I can't even remember a couple days ago. I did a run with our middle school cross country team, and I told them, and I'll tell you, I don't know how cross country, how they function in weather over 80 degrees. It is so hot when they run. But hey, those warmer, even though they feel very, very slow, those warmer runs, I guess, help you in the fall. We had a donut run yesterday. Didn't have any of the kids come out, but I did have my dad and my run buddy Emily, and we did a total of 6 miles. My dad just did part of that with us, and it was really, really good. And I think I got them both convinced to come to the race that I'm doing my 10K at, because they also run a 5K at that same race. So maybe we'll have some friends. But I'll make this short and sweet, because I just know that my talking head videos probably aren't the most interesting. So for this double week video, we're just going to do one chapter, because there's actually more weeks of training than there is chapters, so it's okay. So as I already shared, name of this chapter is May It Please Have Language of Origin, and talks about his spelling bee. And so this whole thing, and I haven't really said this on the other chapters, but each chapter, going along with the name of the book, he's talking about a different name tag. So this one is Hello, My Name is Afraid. And it's one of those chapters that I relate to because I have moments where I'm like afraid of everything. So I'm just gonna throw out what I marked in here without a whole lot of discussion, and we'll chat at the end. As far as circumstances, the stakes get much higher as we get older, don't they? What's the impossible staring you right in the eye today? Impossible circumstances are often the reason why the name afraid occupies so many name tags, but simply knowing you're not alone offers little consolation and encouragement. Now, it's one thing to tell someone don't be afraid, but that is one instruction that must be followed with a why. From Joshua 1:9, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That verse, gives you the why. He talks about Jonah. Jonah had, what he calls the Bible's first freak out. And in Jonah chapter 2, he says, "Ocean gripped me by the throat. The ancient abyss gripped me and held tight. My head was all tangled in seaweed at the bottom of the sea. I was as far down as a body can go, and the gates were slamming shut behind me forever." That's obviously the Message version. And this I underlined because this is me in a nutshell. Anxiety is a descendant of fear. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, anxiety has become the #1 mental health issue in North America. This is very relevant now that I'm thinking about it to the past couple of weeks that we've been having in my family, just feeling very anxious on the future of our small business that sort of carries our family right now. Anyway, when faced with your impossible, Satan loves to send you on a downward spiral. Faith into fear, fear into anxiety, anxiety into discouragement, discouragement into depression, depression into hopelessness. As seen in the lives of Joshua and Jonah, God offers us a way to reverse it. Pray and obey. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus. And then he repeats the verse from earlier. When the word impossible grips our hearts with fear, he wraps his hands of mercy around us and whispers, "Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." I'm going to go back to the Philippians verse and how important I told the FCA kids this. I usually end up bringing it up several times over the course of a sports season, but how important it is to have your quiet time and to be in his word. Because I especially think without knowing verses like this or just knowing what he says in his word, it's hard to find that peace of God. And see, I speak to myself when I say that, because sometimes I skip over that quiet time in my day because I feel like I have too many other things to do, but I'm forgetting the most important thing, and that it can kind of dictate where the rest of your day goes. So just real quick with that one, because like I said, I don't think talking here is super interesting, but yeah, I mean, that chapter really does speak to the past couple of weeks. And I'm fortunate that my husband is someone that believes everything I just read, that if he, just, gives it to God, that everything is going to be okay. And sometimes it feels like we're getting back up to that mountain only to find like a really sharp rock face, if you want to call it that, down back into that valley. We're in a little bit of a valley right now. But I know that he believes, and I believe that if, we'll find the people that we need for these positions to take some of the workload off of him. And it'll be a little rough for a while. The roughest part for me is being away from him a little bit with that, because he's down at our lake house, but because he has to stay there for more than just a couple of days, I can't go with him because I got responsibilities up here that I can't be there for an entire week. So but we do have a special trip coming up that'll be really exciting, and the weather where we're going is awesome for running, so I'm super excited to share that on here. It's actually the week leading up to my race, so it'll be a great taper week. The weather is going to be awesome, and so I'm looking forward to that. So I guess speaking of that, I guess I really only have 2 more hard weeks of training left, and tomorrow, this will be maybe in next week's video, I'm going to be attempting to run my first high school cross country practice, and I think technically it's one of their easier ones, but I tell you, there's nothing easy about running in 80-degree weather. But I hope everyone's doing well. Hope our training's going well. I know our weather, we got a few rainstorms that are getting ready to come through over the next couple of days, and then it looks like our temperature is finally going to drop, where our highs are in the 70s. And I'm so excited for fall weather. It's not even funny. And I'm really hoping that it stays cool for my proof of time, because being warm is not going to help me get that time. But I'm feeling good about the training. So be sure to give this video a like. Comment, has it cooled down where you are? Have you ever run in the afternoon like I do with these cross-country kids? They're like, I don't know how they handle it. It's so hot. And be sure to subscribe. We only got a few more weeks. Oh, and I've been doing it because of everything that's happening in life. I've just completely neglected my raffle. We've got 3 more weeks till I'm going to draw the winner for this raffle, and I'll insert some pictures and stuff here of the items. I added a couple after our little Yamaha dealer thing, some things that I got. So be sure to visit the link and donate. You get 1 entry for a $5 donation, 3 entries for a $10 donation, and 8 entries for a $20 donation. Or if you donate more than that, I work out the math of how many entries that is. And I will be drawing the winner after my 10K race, September 30th. And I'm so excited. I'm getting so close to that goal of 750. I think the last time I checked, I was at 585. So be sure to donate. I'm really excited for this raffle. There's lots of cool little goodies in there. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece, and I will see you next week. And we will work through this time of being in a valley together.